Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing LEGO Marvel Infinity Saga set number 76216 Iron Man Armoury. This has 496 pieces, 8 minifigures, and it retails for a crazy $90 in the US. 90, that is just insane. It released on June 1st. I didn't get around to reviewing it earlier, but I still wanted to review it even though it's kind of late because I have a lot to say about this set and most of it is not good. This Tony Stark minifigure is repeated from that What If mech set. I mean, he looks pretty good. I like the torso print, but it's just kind of boring. Like, I would have preferred a unique Tony minifigure, obviously, and it's the same old face that LEGO's been using for like 4 years. Pepper is also reused from last year's Ironmonger set. I mean, that's okay. I think that this outfit works well for her, but I'm really tired of this stupid face print. Pepper has been in at least one set a year since 2019, and this is a face print made for like a teenage girl. I really wish that they had just given her her own unique face print with her own heads-up display back in 2019, because LEGO could have reused it like 4 times by now, and it would be a lot better than using this face on her. Nick Fury is another repeated minifigure, but it is nice to still see him because he doesn't come in a lot of sets, and this is a pretty decent minifigure of him. And now for the stars of the show, the Iron People in this set, because we have like 3 of them and a bunch of minifigures. So yes, LEGO introduced a brand new helmet mold for this set that was supposed to solve like the problems of the old one, in that the old one was really good for the earlier Iron Man armors, but it started looking a little bit bulky and awkward on the newer styles. And I have to say, I loved the old opening helmet. This is the Mark III, so the old helmet would have worked perfectly on this. LEGO did introduce that flat style of helmet a couple of years ago in like 2017, but I really hated when that one was used on Iron Man figures. I think it worked really well for some other sci-fi characters, but I hated that the faceplate couldn't open. So this one is kind of like an in-between, and I hate it. I think it looks terrible. I mean, I thought it looked kind of weird on the box, but in person, it just looks so awkward. It's somehow bigger than the last one, or even if it's not bigger, it definitely like looks way more like bobblehead-like, and I think that that is just super, super weird. So there's no like molded detail on the front. Everything is just flat so that you can print onto it. So from certain angles, it looks good, but it's just like all of the shaping like up here in the corners, like it looks way too big, because like, I guess like the mask print should be going all the way back along the piece, because I think that's what's making it look so big. Like if that was all gold, I think it would look a lot better. Actually, yeah, that just might be the main problem. So this one does have an opening helmet, which is cool, but I just don't think that this piece works at all for most of the Iron Man suits. So the Mark III was a new figure. I didn't mention that, but I mean, it's still a red and gold suit. It's a little bit boring. This is the Mark 25 Striker, and a lot of people have been waiting for it. It's been teased for years. It was teased on like the 2019 set. And I think that it looks really good. I love the torso and leg print on here. I love that the Star Wars Praetorian Guard shoulder armor was recolored into this like bright light yellow color. And I do like the built up like puncher arms on the front. I mean, a new mold would have been even better, but I mean, hey, I don't think LEGO was going to make a new mold for a one-off Iron Man suit. So I think that that build is pretty decent, and I think that the helmet works a lot better on this suit than it does on any of the red and gold ones. I love the back print here. The face print like works for this helmet, and again, I still feel like it looks too big, but I think it's less noticeable like in this color scheme, like when it's this kind of dark gray and light gray color. And then we get the Mark 85, which I think is kind of a filler minifigure. I don't think the prints are new. It looks exactly the same as the last one. The only difference is the helmet. And see, this is why I feel like this helmet was made, was so that these sleeker suits like the Mark 50 and the Mark 85 would look better with this helmet mold. But I don't think it looks better. I think he looks really, really weird still, because like the helmet, I think this is worse than the Mark III for sure. The helmet just looks way, way, way too big on this version of the figure. And it's like the old helmet I felt like maybe made the figure too tall, but I feel like this one looks too big, like kind of front to back rather than like side to side, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I haven't done a direct comparison of them. I will be comparing this set to like the other Hall of Armor, like my custom one. So stay tuned for that video, because I know everyone's been wanting a Hall of Armor update from me, and it will be coming soon. But yeah, I just don't think this works, and I think that this is a totally wasted suit spot. I would have preferred a different one, and it does have like the jetpack wings on the back or whatever, but I don't think that those are very interesting. Here is War Machine from Iron Man 2. I think that this is one of the coolest figures in the set. I'm really happy that we finally have Rhodey's first suit, because I don't think LEGO's ever made it before. And this one looks really good. Love the torso print, love the leg print. The helmet, again, it's awkward, but I think it works slightly better on War Machine than it does on Iron Man. But yeah, that front mask part is just, it's still too small. Like, I don't understand why they don't print to the edges of the mask. Like, the old mask used to be like all of the opening part used to be the mask. So I don't know why they're not like going to the edge, because that's what's making it look so freaking awkward. He's got the same kind of shoulder gun build that the old figures used to use, so that's kind of a nice throwback because LEGO hasn't done that in a while. And underneath, you kind of just have a generic face print. You don't have Rhodey's face print from 2019, I guess because it's not in production anymore, so that's kind of disappointing. And there's a quick look at the very detailed back printing as well. And now we come to what I think is the best minifigure in the set. This is Whiplash, but it's his fully armored version from the end of Iron Man 2. Not like the NASCAR or whatever race, I think it was like the Monte Carlo Grand Prix or something, but the race version of Whiplash, like in the prison jumpsuit with like the thing on his chest. That's what I thought we were going to get when I heard that we were getting Whiplash, but I'm really glad it's this version instead because he looks awesome. I really like the helmet use for him. I think that this helmet, this is that non-opening flat Iron Man helmet that I said I didn't like. I think it looks good on him. He doesn't really need an opening faceplate. I don't even remember if it opened in the movie. It's been a long time since I saw Iron Man 2, but I really, really like this figure. I think all of the silver really pops. And honestly, I'm just a fan of silver Iron Man-like armors in general. Like, silver Iron Man armors are like my favorite thing. So I really like this Praetorian Guard shoulder armor in silver as well because it's a very useful piece. And then he's got these transparent blue chain pieces as his weapons. And it's just really nice to get a villain like this that we haven't gotten before in LEGO form. And then underneath, he does get a unique face print, woohoo, because Marvel does not usually do unique face prints. And it's even double-sided. But that's not all, because LEGO even includes a hairpiece. And that is just perfect. I mean, I know I have his head on backwards there, but this hairpiece works very well for him, and I'm just so glad that they made such a good minifigure for this villain that like no one really cares about. The build for this set is really hampered by the fact that it's just a bunch of tiny little disconnected like workstations. A lot of people have called it like an advent calendar set where each build is small enough that it could just be a different day of an advent calendar. And unfortunately, I kind of agree with that. We've got the car, we've got a bunch of lab work stuff, we have this little platform for Tony, and then you have like the main armory section itself. So I'm going to start out with all the little bits and then we'll move into the big armory section. Okay, so starting out with all the boring little stuff, we have this platform. Why? Like, I mean, it looks fine, but like, the whole point of these platforms is that Tony lands on them and then robotic arms start taking apart his suit. Where are the robotic arms? Like, this is basically just a fancy place for Iron Man to stand because there's no like gantry to like take the suit off of him, which is really stupid in my opinion. There's jumpers here already. It would only take like 20 pieces to make 2 arms that could like articulate a little bit so that you could pretend that they were removing his suit. So I think that that is really stupid, and you know, this is kind of just a waste of parts because it looks cool, but that's all it does. You can't actually play with it or do the things that it does in the movie. All right, then these are like the advent calendar style builds. You have this thing. I don't know what this is. Maybe someone that works in like metal or like in a shop can tell me. But it's a thingy. I think that this is my favorite of all the thingies because I think that it looks the best. And you know, you can pretend like you're putting something there to be like hammering at it or whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm not a handy person. So I think this is like a vice or something, but I'm not really sure. So please don't quote me on that. But I like this. I think it looks cool. And even though it's very small, I don't think it's useless. Then we have like a version of Dummy, I guess. This is actually the weapon for the Mark 85 that Tony can be holding in his hand. And actually, I'm going to need the Mark 85 in a second, so might as well just show that. Woohoo, it can be blasting something. Kind of useless, but okay. And I think that this looks decent. I really like the way LEGO did wheels in this set, using these like stud pieces with a bar in it. But again, this thing's like really tiny and it doesn't do much. Like, I think it was necessary because I think you always need like a dummy style robot in these sets, but this one is just not the best one that they've done. This thing I also like. It is very small, and I think the most annoying part about it is that it has different wheels to like everything else in this set except this little workstation. But like everything else, like the tables and dummy use this wheel build, so I would have preferred if Lego had like kept consistent with that. But I mean, this thing is cool. So you have like this is like a tool pack that was introduced a couple of years ago. So I like that they included a full set of that. You have this little adjustable lamp, and I actually really like this. I think that it is a great build. Like, it looks really nice for something so small. And then you have this little like Iron Man statuette. And I mean, that's interesting, but give us a printed one. Like, didn't they give us a printed one in the last Hall of Armor set in 2020? Like, why can't you give us a printed one again? So I think that's dumb. And then if you open these up, oh, I forgot. Yep, these are all 100% empty. I really thought there were tools in here, but nope. I guess you can put your extra tools in there if you want, but Lego does not give you any accessories to put in there. I actually like these little workbenches. You have this little stool, or this chair, I guess, that is not attached to anything and kind of just floats around. It's mildly annoying to me just because I don't like having to keep track of so many tiny things. But this table has another doodad, which, I mean, looks cool, but yeah, not really anywhere for it to go. And then you have these blueprints, and these are interesting. So this is like the Stark Expo blueprint from Iron Man 2. I'm actually just going to attach it to the table. And then this is that Captain America shield prototype blueprint. So I think that that's really cool because like the only way Lego could have represented that is by printing it on like a red disc, which would have worked, but I kind of like getting the blueprint instead because I just think Lego blueprints are nice. So underneath, like this is the way the table is built, just with like some of these 1x2 pieces with like the holes in them and then sticking those studs with bar in. And again, very few pieces used, but I think that that looks really nice because these wheels are a lot more interesting than just sticking studs on the bottom of like some table legs. And then this table is also very nice because you have more like holographic screens. So that says system check in progress. I believe that's the Mark III, it looks like. And then this one shows the helmet. Yeah, kind of hard to see these, but that's why I'm trying to put my finger as the background. Then you have a little coffee mug, and then you have another one of those like desk light style builds, but this one is not a light. This is so that you can disassemble the Mark 85 and work on it. And I think that this is one of the best parts of the set. So basically you take the thing's torso and you plug this leg assembly into it. And then Lego gives you a black like mannequin head, and then you just attach it to the arm right here. And I'm actually going to move that coffee mug out of the way. And I think that this looks perfect. I love Iron Man suits being worked on. I think that that is a great thing for Lego to include. And it's definitely, you know, fitting for this set. And again, these little builds, they use so few pieces, but they look so good. Like Lego didn't need to put that stud there, but like putting that stud there, like covers up like kind of the exposed bar of the clip. And they just look really nice. I'm very impressed by those little builds. But we're still not done with little builds because we have two of these things here that you can put into the Hall of Armor itself. This is a little like kind of resting spot to put the wing backpack when it's not in use. I appreciate that because again, like I said, I don't like having to keep track of a bunch of small pieces, so I'm glad that you can put that somewhere. And then this is a stud shooter, or tile shooter, I always call them stud shooters, but yeah, this is a tile shooter gun that you can put on the Mark 85. And then of course you've got the classic Lego Marvel fire extinguisher as well. And finally, our last side build before the Hall of Armor is Tony's like race car, or no, sorry, this is not his race car. This is his convertible. My apologies. Obviously it's not a race car, but this is a fantastic build. I really like this. Very few parts, but again, I think that it had a good build. Like, it was enjoyable to put together, and I think it's very solidly constructed with some cool techniques. I love the way the headlights are built using these just like quarter round tiles in transparent yellow, and there's very nice shaping all around. Love these fender pieces as well, and you have that little Stark 11 license plate at the back, and you can tilt the spoiler a little bit too. So I'm very happy with this car. I think I'm definitely going to throw it into my city and have Tony Stark cruising around. And something else that's nice is in the back of the car, you do have the full like layout board for the Stark Expo from Iron Man 2. So you can actually, Lego actually suggests laying it out on one of these workbenches. So I should pull up those blueprints. But I think that this is a really great thing to include in this set. Okay, yeah, I was assembling it the right way, but I thought it was the wrong way. So I think that this looks pretty cool, but I mean, obviously you have to line up all of these stickers. I did not try to like get them as close to the edge as possible. I actually think this one is a little bit crooked, which is actually really bothering me now that I noticed that. But I mean, it looks nice. I really think something like this should have been printed. I don't know if Lego's printed. I think they have printed these 2x6 tiles before, but I think that they should have printed all 3 of these because that would have just been a really, really nice touch in this set. And finally, we've got the Armoury itself. And right off the bat, why is this not the same build as the previous 2 sets? That is really, really irritating to me because it's compatible with the other 2. The clips are in all the right places, but it is a completely different build to the last 2. And that's irritating to me. That being said, this one looks way better. I really, really prefer the aesthetic of this one compared to the last one, and I love the last set. I've bought 3 of them. I've made a huge haul of armor, so I really don't want to have to redo my entire haul of armor in this new style because this set is so overpriced, but I really like what Lego's done here. So a couple of these slots have these like stickered parts. So this is the Mark 1, which came in the original Hall of Armor set, of course. This one is the Silver Centurion, which was the Avengers video game exclusive set from a few years ago, from like 2016. I also have that minifigure, so I like that. And then this one is, I think, the 50, or is it the 85? I don't know. It just says Nanotech. But I mean, all of the designs of these are really nice. My only question is, why are they on these stupid banner pieces? All of the other versions of these, dating back to 2013, we've been getting stickers like this since 2013. And every single one of them is on one of these door pieces, like these door window frame pieces. So why did Lego stick these awesome designs onto flags? Like, this is so annoying to me because Lego had a consistent thing going with Iron Man armors, and then for some reason in this set, they just threw it all out the window. So anyway, that annoying stuff aside, I think that these individual cells look a lot better than the last ones because they're much more open. You can see a lot more blue. I love the use of these like garage door roller pieces to make like the side like frames. And I think that when you put them all together, like having the angles like come together like that, it makes it look really, really nice. And like I said, I will be doing a full comparison. But I don't know if I'm gonna, I don't know. I really want to switch over to this style just because I think it's cleaner and I think it gives more room for like figures with shoulder armor and stuff like that. But I can't, like, you only get 8 cells in this set and I have so many Iron Man suits, it would be really expensive for me to like switch over my entire collection. So, I mean, I'll talk about that in my comparison video. But yeah, it's not compatible. I mean, it is compatible with the old one. It's not the same style. And I do think that that was the wrong decision. I think Lego should have kept with a consistent style. The reverse is kind of boring. Nothing really going on here, just a bunch of empty door frames. And then on the top, you just have like a little walkway and then a bunch of these like bricks with studs. I don't know why. Like, it seems kind of weird to me. Like, I don't really think that these sections, whoops, I pulled up the front of that cell over there. I don't think that like the roof parts needed to connect to each other like this. I think that it would have been fine if they were kind of just freestanding and sat on top of this thing. I mean, so this is versatile. Like, you can spin it around this way. I don't like displaying my suits like this, but I'm sure someone does. And then of course you can just like change this up. If you'll please come off. I feel like these stick more than the last version, but you can also connect them like this and then, you know, just have them in one long strip, but you don't get like roof sections for the other 4, so you can't really permanently display it like this, and I think that that's dumb. If you're like, if you can do this, Lego should have given you the pieces to build like the roof sections for the other 4 parts, because they don't take up that many pieces. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces here, so 7 times 4 would be 28 more pieces to have like a proper roof section. So I think it's really dumb that Lego didn't do that. But that does it for the build of this set, so now let's move on to the extra pieces and then my final thoughts. Here are the extra pieces for this set. You do have some extras from that toolkit and one of those nano figures. The box for this set is Lego's $50 box size, which is really embarrassing for them because, you know, that's probably how much this set should be. And then at the back, it shows you some different scenes. Here's the instruction manual for this set. I hate the image on the front of it, and then at the back, you do have an ad for the other Infinity Saga sets for 2022. This set is kind of everything I hate about Lego. It's a remake of a far better set that just feels like a cheap cash grab. And I hate saying that because this set shouldn't feel like a cheap cash grab. Everything here has been designed like pretty well. And this would be a fantastic set with some like weird things about it if it wasn't $90 US. Like, what on earth? That is one of the most overpriced Lego sets I've ever seen in my life. This should have been $60 like the original Hall of Armor. That's it. No more than that. You could make a case for, oh, it should be $70 because of the new molds, because of the new prints, whatever. I still don't think it should be $70, but fine, say it should be $70. It's $90. That's still $20 overpriced. For this much money, in any other Lego theme, even in other Marvel sets, you will get so much more value for your money. I always talk about how overpriced Lego Star Wars is. You would get way more value for your money if you went over to Lego Star Wars and spent $90 than if you spent your money on this. So I'm really upset about that. I do not think that this set is good at all for that price point. And even like for the set itself, I like the individual designs that the Iron Man sells, but why don't you have roof sections for all of them? Why did you put these stickers on flags instead of on the doors like they're supposed to go on? And yeah, I could have stuck them on the doors, but like they aren't sized for the doors. They aren't big enough. They aren't the same style as literally dating back to 2013. And that's the thing. Why can't Lego just be consistent? I understand why they changed the design of the cells. I think that's annoying, but I get it. But like the sticker thing, that's a very small thing that they should not have changed because they've been consistent from 2013 through 2020. They had the same sticker design and now they're changing it for no reason. I think the new helmet, I get what they were going for. I'm glad they tried something different. It's better than the non-opening helmets, but they look really weird and I don't like them. So I think it's going to be super awkward to have 3 different styles of helmet in my like Lego like Hall of Armor display. But I get that Lego has to do new things. I get that they have to innovate, and I understand that. But I don't know. It's just this set could have been good. I was excited because I really like Lego Hall of Armor sets, but I don't think that what they did here was good at all. And I think that you get a lot of accessories in the set, which is great for play, but I think they dropped the ball on that too. Don't give me 2 tiny little like storage units and instead like use those pieces to give me arms so that I can like take the armor off of Tony Stark. It's little things like that that seem really stupid to me. So I would not recommend buying this set. If you really want the minifigures, I'm sure you can find it on sale by now or buy that like Costco super pack that has this set and the buildable Groot in it for $100 because that's much better value for money. So that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.